We're coming to you live from our Auckland Park studios. This is Prime News on SABC 3. Let's give you a sense of our top stories with these headlines.
Let it be an opportunity to reimagine our heritage institutions, not as remnants of a past era.
Thousands of revelers gathered at the Brighton Stadium in Oudtshoorn in the Little Karoo region of the Western Cape for the National Heritage Day celebrations today.
The ANC has a different process which has not started now. It's likely to start around February, March.
3 Gauteng metros, including the city of Johannesburg, are set to be the new battleground for the 2026 local elections.
8 of the 9 provinces of South Africa have an unemployment rate of above 40%.
And the South African Federation of a Trade Union says the workers are facing a job bloodbath in different sectors in the country. At the back of those headlines, it's a touch just after 8 o'clock. A very good evening to you. This is Prime News on 3. I am Paulette Nell. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Let's get into it. We begin here this evening. Thousands of revelers gathered at the Brighton Stadium in Oudtshoorn in the Little Karoo region of the Western Cape for the National Heritage Day celebrations today. Acting President Paul Mashatile gave the keynote address calling for a fresh approach to the country's heritage institutions.
Honoring the past while embracing the future. Acting President Paul Mashatile emphasized that the country's heritage belongs to all citizens.
It does not matter what tribe or cultural background you are. We all have the responsibility to preserve and showcase our heritage locally and also to a global audience.
He says the re-evaluation of heritage means not discarding history or monuments, but telling both sides of the story so that all voices and experiences form part of it.
As we celebrate our heritage, may this moment serve as a time of activation. Let it be an opportunity to reimagine our heritage institutions, not as remnants of a past era, but as beacons of possibility in a changing and globalizing world.
Residents were excited that their town was chosen for the celebrations.
It's an absolute privilege for us to have the Heritage Festival this year here in Oudtshoorn, and it's an honor to have all the ministers here in Oudtshoorn today.
Tanya Krause, SABC News, Oudtshoorn in the Western Cape.
While in Parliament, there were mixed views from political parties that debated whether an ad hoc committee to investigate the continued presence of apartheid-era statues and memorials in public spaces should be established or not. While some political parties supported the establishment of such a committee, others said it would be a fruitless and wasteful expenditure.
The statue of Louis Botha on horseback is standing in front of Parliament. It's engraved with the words farmer, warrior and statesman. A few miles from Parliament is the statue of Jan van Riebeeck and Cecil John Rhodes. Another Cecil John Rhodes statue was removed at the University of Cape Town during student protests in 2015. The EFF says these statues must be torn down and replaced with figures that reflect democracy.
These statues are a celebration of the conquest of Africans. They are trophies erected not to tell history, but to legitimize colonial occupation.
While the MK party supported the establishment of an ad hoc committee to investigate this matter, other political parties say the Department of Sport, Arts and Culture must lead the process.
We cannot allow ourselves to believe that by demolishing or moving a statue or memorial, we demolish the injustices of history. History does not work that way.
Monuments that illustrate our divided past should not be dismantled or erased, but rather repositioned and contextualized so that future generations may remember and learn.
Relocating certain statues to museums where they can be properly contextualized as part of a painful history rather than celebrated is itself a significant act of reconciliation.
A decision on whether or not to establish this ad hoc committee will be voted on later.
Lula Mamacha, SABC News, Parliament.
Still on Heritage Day celebrations, more than 2,500 South Africans gathered at Loftus Stadium in Pretoria in an attempt to break Japan's record for the most people braaiing at the same time. Over 400 braai stands were set up, with each participant preparing wors weighing about 200 grams, nearly half a ton in total.
I know we broke the record. There's a lot of people at this place. It's happening in Pretoria. We're here at the world's greatest braai. And guess what? I'm here with my family, my boy JJ, Lynette, my daughter, my wife, Privilege.
Today was a very nice day. I'm really enjoying. I just won an umbrella from the All Gold stand, and I'm very happy.
Well, it was definitely the braai. The world record braai was amazing. The music is amazing. And all the prizes. We won all the games!
It's the greatest day. Greatest fun for the kids. Fun for everyone.
It's a beautiful day, and it's a beautiful day in Pretoria. It's not too hot, it's not too cold, it's perfect. Brilliant day to braai, and we did it. We did the world record.
More on your Heritage Day celebration stories. Some South Africans observed the day at the Kruger National Park, as most national parks managed by SANParks are offering a free day access to all citizens this week. However, not everyone who wanted to celebrate the day in the Kruger made it.
Kruger National Park, one of Africa's largest and re-owned parks. It was teeming with day visitors who came to celebrate Heritage Day in style. Some parks managed by SANParks are offering free day access to South Africans this week, but not everybody made it into the park.
The frustration is too much because we arrived here around 7:30 in the morning, but the queue was very, very long, and it was moving very slowly. So now they've cutted it. They are saying we are no longer going inside. We must go back home.
The number of people visiting the park is managed to prevent overcrowding. This is to allow a smoother overall visitor experience, but also to minimize environmental damage.
We saw just over 80,000 people taking advantage of this free week. That in itself tells you that there is definitely a lot of interest in International Parks Week, and this year we hope that we'll be able to surpass the numbers that we've seen last year. The only challenge that people are experiencing now is the fact that we are implementing what we call a quota system, which is a management tool that assists us to control and manage the congestions within the national park system.
The free access week in the Kruger National Park will end on Friday, and for other parks on Sunday. Nhlamulo Mabasa, SABC News, Kruger National Park.
Welcome back to this now. 3 Gauteng metros, including the city of Johannesburg, are set to be the new battleground for the 2026 local elections. Some parties, political parties that is, have already set their eyes on the economic hub of the country by fielding their candidates. For now, DA Federal Chair Helen Zille will square up with Patriotic Alliance Deputy President Kenny Kunene for the Johannesburg top job, while other parties are yet to announce their prospective candidates.
Although the local government elections are over a year away, political parties are not leaving anything to chance. The ANC wants to reverse what has been a steady electoral decline. The party recently called its over 4,700 councillors countrywide to a meeting in Johannesburg to instruct them to up their game and save the party from electoral misfortune. The party's NEC has not yet tipped candidates for any mayoral positions.
The ANC has a different process which has not started now. It's likely to start around February, March, where the ANC will then first announce what we call the selection of candidates guidelines 2026 local government.
Fellow Government of National Unity partner, the DA, is fielding its federal chair, Helen Zille, who's once a mayor in Cape Town, as its candidate to lead the City of Gold.
We're expecting the election to be sometime in November next year. It's going to be a grueling year-long election campaign. We're going to have to steel ourselves for it. And then, if the voters want to rescue their city, we should be the biggest party by some margin.
The Patriotic Alliance has entered the fray with its Deputy President Kenny Kunene.
I know that the people of Johannesburg trust me. From the corners of Orange Farm, Soweto, Alex, Deep Sloot, Cosmo, Midrand, Sandton, Houghton.
For now, the EFF says it will be dictated to by communities on the quality of leaders they want at a local sphere of government.
At this stage, the EFF is not going to put the cart before the horse and participate in a popularity contest of fielding candidates in an American-style politics manner. We are rooted on the ground.
With most parties fielding what they call their best for Johannesburg, Action SA President Herman Mashaba is playing his cards close to his chest.
Action SA will announce their mayoral candidate for the city of Johannesburg at our own time.
Other parties are also expected to unveil their candidates closer to the polls. Natasha Piri, SABC News, Johannesburg.
The South African Federation of Trade Unions General Secretary Zwelinzima Vavi says workers are facing a jobs bloodbath in different sectors in the country. Vavi says the SAFTU will establish a central task team to meet with civic allies to prepare for a working class summit to address the issue of job losses.
This year, various sectors across the country have been faced with the decision to cut jobs. These include the automotive, mining and manufacturing sectors. Recently, Coca-Cola Beverages South Africa announced that it is undergoing a restructuring process that could see over 680 job cuts. The South African Federation of Trade Unions says too many jobs are lost in a country faced with a 33.2% unemployment rate.
In South Africa, we're now sitting with 43% unemployment rate. 8 of the 9 provinces of South Africa have an unemployment rate of above 40%. This is a national catastrophe. It's a pandemic on its own.
Meanwhile, a union affiliated to SAFTU, the Young Nurses Indaba Trade Union, says it has been put under administration following alleged financial misconduct by its former leader Lerato Mthunzi.
The measures in place to keep the financial mismanagement, firstly it's the administration itself, so that the administrator come up with reforms on financial flows within the organization, but also the rebuilding of the organization to ensure that even in the future, the next leadership does not fall into the same trap.
Nothando Makutulela, SABC News, Johannesburg.
President Cyril Ramaphosa has called on G20 members to join South Africa in making the United Nations Climate Summit a turning point for building a sustainable, inclusive and resilient global economy. He was speaking at the first Biennial Climate Summit in New York, where member states are presenting new climate action and financing plans.
Beyond financial instruments, we need confidence that commitments that are made will be honored and that global rules will be shaped by all members and not just a few. It is often quite disheartening when we hear commitments being made and announced at big conferences And when it finally gets to the practicality of it, particularly for countries that are in need, we find shortcomings and we find reversals.
Thank you for staying with us. We continue with this. South Africa says it is happy with the commitment made by G20 countries concerning science. A G20 ministerial meeting took place at Carnarvon in the Northern Cape, that is, earlier today. Some 400 delegates, including science ministers, policymakers, and industry leaders from G20 countries, formed part of that meeting.
The science world is advancing fast, with the latest discoveries changing the landscape for how the world operates. South Africa says the commitments made at the G20 science meeting are encouraging.
We are going to be developing a pan-African genome strategy. Because right now, there is a challenge around genetics.
The SKA being built in the Northern Cape's Karoo was the backdrop to the meeting, with the Square Kilometre Array organization hoping to attract more member nations and funding.
We've definitely got enough interest that we might have our own G20, maybe we'll call it our S20, and I think that would be a really nice ambition for us to have before we go to full operations in 2030.
There's also some good news regarding the SKA Low being built in Western Australia.
Things are about a year ahead in Australia. We have 12,000 of the antennas erected now. Each antenna is about a 2-meter tall Christmas tree. And we have 1,000 of them connected powered up and connected to our systems. And we've made the very first image, which we published in March of this year.
Meanwhile, astronomers are concerned about sky pollution with the increasing number of communication satellites. Ulrich Hendricks, SABC News, near Carnarvon in the Northern Cape.
And in your sporting news this evening, South Africa have all but secured a quarter-final berth at the Netball World Youth Cup in Gibraltar. The Baby Proteas secured a third successive victory, beating Malawi 64-33 in their Pool D match in what was by far the toughest match to date.
It was tough and intense battle between the two African countries early on. It took the Baby Proteas a good 5 minutes to put some daylight between them and Malawi, forcing their opponent into making mistakes. Precious Mutembu's side took advantage of that and held a comfortable 16-9 lead at the end of the first quarter. Malawi stayed in charge of a lackluster South African team in the second quarter, and at halftime only 10 goals separated the two teams. The Baby Proteas rediscovered their form in the second half, and it was one-way traffic from there on in. They outscored the Malawians 15-8 in the third quarter and 26 in the fourth for a 64-33 victory. The unbeaten South African under-21s occupy top spot in the pool with 6 points from 3 matches, 2 clear of Malawi and Fiji. The Baby Proteas, the only team in the tournament to have ranked up 100 goals or more in a match so far, play Fiji in their final Pool D on Wednesday evening. The Pacific Islanders lost to Malawi on Monday. Mahudi Mulapo, SABC News, Johannesburg.
The Springboks know a huge challenge awaits them in their Rugby Championship clash against Argentina in Durban on Saturday. The Pumas are currently 4th in the standings on 9 points, but trail the second-placed Boks and third-placed Argentina by just 1 point. The Wallabies top the log on 11 points.
South Africa and Argentina have played in Durban 3 times before. On the first occasion in 2015, the Pumas won the clash, with the Boks bagging the next 2. Since then, however, the tourists have improved in leaps and bounds. Replacement loose forward Kwagga Smith believes the Pumas have put together a good mix between youngsters coming through the ranks and experienced campaigners. He expects a very physical battle up front.
Pumas loose forwards are mobile. If you look at them, they're really mobile. I think that's why they get along on the park and get around the park and make a lot of turnovers. think the hookers is also good turnover guys.
Number 10, Mani Libok, who will also start on the bench, enjoyed a cracker against New Zealand in Wellington 10 days ago.
So we talk about control and balance, and and obviously to spare these guys energy when we need them to punch and to go, especially when we're in the 22 and all of that, so they can come alive and they have energy.
With the All Blacks hosting the Wallabies in Auckland on Saturday, the South Africans will be eager to secure a comprehensive win to put themselves in a commanding position ahead of their final clash in London. Liesel Willifier, SABC News.
Time now to hand over the reins to the weather desk to see what the temperatures have in store for us. Mpora Simpi has the latest. Stay tuned.
Thank you very much and a very warm welcome to the weather desk. Time for us to look at those conditions over the country now. We do have a cut-off low that's sitting over the central parts of the country, causing all this instability and rainfall that is predicted over KwaZulu-Natal. We're talking 80% chance of showers and thunder showers over KwaZulu-Natal, stretching into Mpumalanga and parts of Free State. Gauteng is going to be scattered showers and thunder showers for tonight, stretching into parts of Limpopo, just isolated over the interior of the Eastern Cape, stretching toward the southern parts of the Western Cape for tonight. Now for tomorrow, a bit of clearing, but we're still expecting the scatter showers and thunder showers as we move towards Mpumalanga, KwaZulu-Natal, and also Gauteng for tomorrow. The whole of Gauteng expecting rainfall for tomorrow. Isolated as we move into Limpopo, Free State, the northwest, and also parts of KwaZulu-Natal. It is going to be a cloudy day as we move towards the southern parts of the country for tomorrow, but clear over the central parts of the Northern Cape. Looking at our warnings for tonight, we have up to level 4 warning of disrupted rainfall. That is persistent rainfall that will lead to flooding over the whole of KwaZulu-Natal for tonight, stretching into parts of the Eastern Cape. Moving into the Free State, Gauteng, and also Mpumalanga, it is a level 2 warning of severe thunderstorm. As we move towards the coast, it is a level 2 warning of some damaging winds. Now let's remember, with severe thunderstorms, we're expecting possibilities of large amount of small hail, heavy downpours that can lead to flooding, and also also strong damaging winds and lightning, especially over Gauteng for tomorrow. Remember, this is where we have those scattered showers and rain over Gauteng for tomorrow. So most of the rainfall is expected over Gauteng for tomorrow. So let's take note of that. Moving towards Mpumalanga and also parts of the northwest, and also as we move towards KwaZulu-Natal, we're still expecting that level 4 warning of disrupted rainfall for tomorrow. Overnight temperatures, we're still experiencing some freezing conditions as we move towards Sandland with a low of 0.3 over Calvinia, 5 over Bethlehem, Pretoria dropping down to 15, 18 over Musina. Maximum temperatures for tomorrow, it is a warm day over Musina with a high of 23, Johannesburg at 19. Warm conditions as we move towards that interior of the Northern Cape over Appleton. We're expecting a high of 28. That's all the weather I have for you. Stay tuned.
That concludes our time together this evening. Much gratitude for joining us this Heritage Day evening. From myself, Paulette Nell, until next time, it's good night. God bless. Hula.